it's Betsy from Cuttin Corners Vinyl in Nederland, Texas, and today is Season 2, Craftmas episode 24, which we are doing one of my favorite kind of projects, which is glass etching. Now, to get this etch onto the glass, which looks like this, it's kind of hard to see it from the back, I used Armor Etch, just a piece of Oracal 651 as my stencil, and then the file is available on my Patreon page for our $10 or more a month patrons. Now, if you'll give me a moment, I'll show you how I made this. So as you can see, I have my beer mug from the Dollar Tree laid out, and it was $1. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take a paper towel with some denatured alcohol on it and wipe down the side of the beer mug that I am going to etch, and I want to wipe it down really well. Now what I'm going to do is take my piece of adhesive, and I'm using the same brown adhesive that I've been using for the last few projects, and we're going to apply this on there. So I just used pretty much a scrap piece that I added a little bit of a border around to be able to place this on here. Now remember, this design is available for my $10 or more a month patrons. And I made the design 3 inches wide by around 4 inches tall. So now what I'm doing is working my way out from the center and squeegeeing it down onto the beer mug. There we go. Go ahead and remove our transfer tape, and again, that's the same piece of transfer tape that I have used for years. Now what we're going to do is take and double check all of our areas just to make sure everything is squeegeed down real well, because we don't want any of the armor etch to get under the vinyl. Okay, so as you can see, that's squeegeed down real well. Now we're going to place on our plastic gloves. This is for safety. And it's hard to wear the plastic gloves whenever you're trying to squeegee down and weed vinyl. Okay, so this is the armor etch. Shake it up. This is what it looks like. $22.95 from Hobby Lobby. And I bought it when it's 40% off. Either that or I used a 40% off coupon. And I've had this same bottle of Armor Etch for years. It's the same one that I used in Craftmas last year and in our Christmas episodes the year before that. Okay, which this stuff stinks. Now I'm just taking a sponge brush, and what we want to do is layer this on pretty thick. You see how thick that's going on? I'll show you if you can't see it that well in just a second. And this stuff is thick, so it will stay in place. You don't really have, it's not thin enough where you have to worry about it running. And I have found that the longer you let it set, the deeper the etch gets. So I'm going to let this set for about an hour or so. So as you can see right now, it is 4:36 p.m. And again, thick over all of where we want the etch to go. But we're going to let this sit again for about an hour. And then I'll show you what we do to get it off. Now, one thing I do is I take my brush, my sponge brush, scrape it off to keep as much product as possible. And then when I'm through actually etching this, I will take and scrape that off if it doesn't dry out too bad, and place it back in the jar so I can reuse it. Now I'm just taking my paper towel. I did drip a drop of that and go ahead and clean that up. But as you can see, that is a good thick layer of Armor Etch all over our lettering. Now we're going to let that set for about an hour and wash it off, and we'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so as you can see, it's been about an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and open my Armor Etch back up. There we go. And I'm going to take my sponge brush and scrape off as much of the Armor Etch so I can put it back in the container as possible. There we go. Okay, so now all that's back in there. I'm going to take some water. Now typically I would bring this to the sink and go ahead and wash it, but you know, I'm in a studio where there is no sink. So I'm just going to take my water and clean off as much of the excess as possible. There we go. So as you can see, that's all clean now. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the vinyl, which on the back of the Armor Etch it says to leave it on for 15 minutes, but I have found that leaving it on a little bit longer, you get a much better etching result than whenever you only leave it on for a short amount of time. So I'm pulling off my gloves so that way I can grab my pick and remove the vinyl. And see, for something like this, I do recommend a permanent adhesive. To me, it holds down better. So that way you're not going to get a cruddy etch, you know. You want something that's going to hold down really well so your edges are nice and smooth. Okay. This looks awesome. Okay, so now all the vinyl's off. I'm going to take my rag one more time and re-wipe it down, and look how good that looks. Now on this angle you might not be able to see it well, but you can see that it is etched in there good. Let me go wash this cup and we'll go over everything we just did. So hopefully you liked today's video. If you do, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We post new videos every single day at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for Craftmas, which runs all the way through Christmas. It's cheap, inexpensive, all different types of ideas for your holiday season. Don't forget to check me out on all my social media, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as my second channel, which is just Betsy Goacher. I do all things makeup and all that fun kind of stuff over there. But I guess that's it, so we'll see y'all tomorrow.